Hi, this is Dr. Michael Ennis, and I'm here today to talk to you about something we've been seeing a lot of lately, and that is long-termers. And long-termers is a phrase that just started getting used in relationship to COVID or post-COVID cases where they've had COVID, they got over the initial infection, but their energy hasn't returned, their life hasn't returned, they don't have that drive, that stamina they used to have. They just feel terrible, like a shell of themselves, and it seems like they are not quickly returning back to that old self. I had a gal come in just the other night. I would call her an Energizer bunny, and literally she said that she walks down the end of the street and that's all she could do the rest of the day. And this is a girl that would kickbox for an hour and all sorts of things. So it's a real common thing to see that. And so I want to talk about some strategies that we use. We're an upper cervical specialist office in chiropractic. We specialize in the upper area where we affect the brainstem and spinal cord. And that's actually a really important part of this recovery, because this is an area where your body controls a lot of automatic or autonomic type functions. And so for us, we see a lot of these kind of cases. And so, in fact, it's not too much different than what we see with fibromyalgia cases, actually. So if you're a person or know somebody that's had fibromyalgia, you understand that they have these long-term issues with fatigue, muscles aching everywhere when they seem like they never did before, and that sort of thing. So how we approach is this. First, we need to look at it from a very basic standpoint to kind of get a foundation. And so there are core systems or core needs your body has to have. One of them is, of course, a proper functioning nervous system. This is, of course, what we deal with. And the reason for that is because it's what coordinates all the other parts of your body, how your heart coordinates with your lungs and your liver and all that digestive stuff. All that coordination that has to occurs because your nervous system is what makes that all happen. So that's a foundational issue for us. Beyond that, we have nutritional needs, and those are interesting for post-COVID or the long-term people or fibromyalgia people, for that sake. We look for things that are non-inflammatory. So we know that high fructose corn syrup, hugely inflammatory, so we highly recommend you stay away from sugars, sodas, even juice drinks are high in sugar. Those tend to help quite a bit. Fried foods we know that are inflammatory. If you are a person that has, say, like a dairy or gluten allergy, then these things might be heightened during this time. I've noticed that people have been mentioning that, as well as other things I might be allergic to. So we try to limit those things, especially during this recovery time, as much as you possibly can, and that tends to speed things up as well. So nutrition is actually one of our core foundations that we need. We also need to be having rest, and that's one of the things that our people tell us, that all they do is feel like sleeping. Well, we want not sleeping, but we want rest. So we want to kind of control that. And the way I recommend you do that is have a set regime. So you wake up at a certain time and you go to bed at a certain time. You avoid going to bed with TV on. You actually will fall asleep better. You'll have more restful sleep. So having a routine like that would be super important. One of the interesting things that is very interesting is that a lot of people that are long-termers want to exercise, but they have no energy or drive. And what we're recommending to them is do exercise, but not to the level that you did before. Make it a small fraction of what you did before, but be consistent. As a matter of fact, in this whole thing, consistency is what's going to win this race. And so we really want you to be consistent, even if it's small steps. The small steps that you do consistently will help us quickly get you back to where before, and honestly, maybe even better than you were before you had it. So super, super important for that. And then the other thing is a positive mental attitude. It's so easy for me to tell you that, hey, just be positive. I get that, but people that they just do better in every aspect. So here's what I recommend. Take it day to day and look for one positive thing in your day. It works. And then the last thing I'll share with you is this. Health is not a destination. It's actually a lifelong journey. And that's not just the post-COVID or the long-termers that have to consider that. It's beyond that. It's a constant journey that we want to keep you on the best path possible. Our part of it is to keep your nervous system flowing and functioning right. Your part of it is going to be consistent with those other things. with some of the exercise, even if it's a small amount, the nutrition part of it, getting that rest part of it, and that mental attitude. No one can do that for you. Every day, find something positive, but be consistent, and that way you stay on a good path, and this journey will be a positive one, and you'll thrive, not just now, but you'll thrive at 100. So I hope you found that at least somewhat informative. If you got more questions, absolutely call us or email or text us. We'll be glad to answer and take those on for you. This is Dr. Michael Ennis. Thank you for listening, and be healthy and thrive.